Planning Board meeting to order. Those in attendance for the planning board are Joe Zagrodnik, myself, Jim Maximowski, Kishore Parmar, Bill Dwyer, and Mark Dunn. And this meeting is being recorded. And first up for general information, Mr. Dwyer.
Mr. ZHI, that's all. You're up first. Or are you here with Eric?
Yes, sir. I think Eric's here, and yeah, we're applying for a signage for 173 Russell Street.
Yep, I'm here as well.
And that's a change of use. Well, it's a new restaurant going in, replacing Hillside Pizza. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
That was 110 Russell
173 Russell Street.
or 173.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a new sushi place, right?
Yes, sir.
So the concern is this. We just want you to understand we're treating everybody the same. You're in the Aquifer Protection Overlay District. And when we allow a use in the Aquifer Protective Overlay District, it's limited to the particular business that came to us. Even though you are replacing a restaurant, you're a new business in the district. So we just wanted to be sure we understood what your processes were going to be. Are you doing anything out of the restaurant ordinary on the premises? Going to be
No, sorry. No, just a standard Japanese restaurant where we're just gonna serve sushi and there's some like ramen and rice bowls and stuff like that. But other than any restaurant thing, no.
And Eric, can you put up the signs?
Yes.
Let me just approve sharing. Hang on a sec.
Sounds good.
Okay.
All right, give me 1 second, all right? All right, so this is one of two. So here's the first one. The wall sign, as I said last week, is a belt sign, just metal face with a frame. That one's gonna be 16 square feet mounted to the wall. And these signs on the street are called pan signs. They will be covering the existing signage. That one is 16.81 square feet.
And that's externally illuminated.
I'm not 100% on it. To my understanding, that's not illuminated.
It looks like
Are you saying that the lighting on the ground is okay? Never mind.
Okay.
Okay, never mind. Sorry.
Yeah,
Okay.
they do have lighting on the ground, so that's yeah.
Wow. You got snow in August out there?
Yeah, we've been going for a bit on this, but hopefully we're near the finish line. If there's anything else anybody has any questions about for this signage, let me know. Otherwise, I can close my share.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve a new tenant in the Aquifer Protection District and to approve the signs as presented.
I'll second it.
Motion second. Any discussions, questions? Hearing none. All in favor, roll call vote.
John, aye.
Dwyer, aye.
Maximowski, aye.
Parmar, aye.
Zagrodnik, aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Very good.
Okay, you can stop your share now.
Yeah.
Okay, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, when do you guys plan on opening?
So right now we just need the last part from the health department, and we have a meeting with Ben tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. So after that, I believe we should hopefully by the end of the month or in the beginning of the next month.
Good luck.
Thank you,
Very good.
sirs. Appreciate your
Good luck.
time.
All right,
Thank you.
thanks, Chief. We'll be in
Thank
touch.
you very much.
Take care.
So mechanically, what's happened is Jim is going to send an email to the building department incorporating the terms of the motion. And so you'll be good to go to apply for your sign permit.
Okay,
All right.
sounds good. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Yep,
You're
you're welcome.
Next in was Liam Feeney.
Hello, thank you for the introduction. My name is Liam Feeney. I'm a civil engineer with Bowler, representing Walmart for a site plan improvement project at their location on Russell Street in Mountain Farms Mall, and just looking to discuss an administrative waiver for the improvement project with the board.
Now you've been in before, correct?
Correct. I was in front of the board, I believe in March. It was in the springtime. So the plan that I'll have in front of you is largely the same, with just some minor differences from what was presented to the board earlier this year.
Okay, so if you want to screen share, go ahead.
Great. Okay, so sharing my screen here. So the applicant is looking to address some minor site plan improvements at their location. So largely the improvements are centered around accommodating the existing pickup operations that occur at the store. Today, there are 6 existing pickup spaces that are near the front of the building. And with this project, Walmart would like to put a new pickup door here and then put 13 designated pickup spaces for their online pickup operation. And with that, that would be modifying some existing spaces that are currently 9 feet wide and making them 12 feet wide. That 12 feet comes from, this program that Walmart puts out where 12 foot is the preferred width for the pickup stalls. The 12 feet allows for the associates to kind of enter on either the right or the left side within the width of the parking stall and load any of the online orders into a customer's car. So I can pull up a closer plan later for this area here. Some other improvements are crosswalk improvements at the front of the store. So just improved crosswalks throughout the driveway at the front of the store. So looking to improve some of the conditions there, as well as some additional stop signs and stop bars and stop markings that do not exist today. So looking to increase the pedestrian experience at the front of the store, and likewise introducing some additional stop bars and stop markings along the side driveway towards Russell Street. So trying to increase some traffic circulation and increase the traffic experience in this area within the Walmart area. So as you can see here, there are some jurisdictional areas that this work within the jurisdictional area has been sent and reviewed by the Conservation Commission. And then lastly, to ensure that we're not losing any spaces overall, by widening the 13 spaces down here, this results in a loss of 5 spaces. So just taking a look at the rear of the site, we're proposing to make these compact 8-foot wide spaces. So by doing that, you result in an increase of 5 spaces in the rear of the building. And overall, there is a net loss of 0 parking spaces as a part of this project. And, kind of designate this area, as I understand, I know there is parking for the bike path at the rear of the building, but it's not as utilized as the front of the building.
Just as
And
a note of fact, you've got Russell Street mislabeled there. That's an internal street on your site. That's not Russell Street.
Yeah, this doesn't look right.
Yeah, no, totally. That is Russell Street. I understand. I know that this is a side driveway within Mountain Farms Mall, and Russell Street is off the page here. So thank you for pointing that out.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep.
Okay. And just a closer look, we have just a small detail sheet for the driveway at the front of the store. And then there are proposing some additional signage to direct customers to the pickup area. So we have a proposed light pole that will have a pickup sign here, and then some additional directional signage to direct customers to the pickup area so that they know when they enter the site where to go when they have a pickup order.
So that pickup door is over towards the landscape section, right?
Correct. It's pretty much adjacent to the existing garden center door.
Okay.
And I can pull up a zoom of that. We just have an erosion control sheet for that area. And then this site plan here is a focused area. You'll see at the front, this is the existing garden center door, and then the new door is maybe 10 or 15 feet to the right. So just punching a new door into the existing building with a small canopy over it. And this here is a zoom plan of the 13 pickup spaces with signs identifying these as pickup spaces. And then lastly, we just have for the canopy that's at the new door, where there's a downspout associated with that. So just a small drainage connection to existing infrastructure that's there. And that's just to ensure that, you know, any of the runoff up the top of that small canopy isn't sheeting onto the sidewalk and freezing in that area.
And there's no changes in lighting or signage or?
So, I mean, pretty much the overall plan here, the SSM plan here, just details the location of any proposed stop signage and any proposed wayfinding signage or pickup signage. So all of these leaders here identify, JZ, for example, identifies a proposed stop sign. So we have new stop signs in these landscape islands here. And then these signs here are pickup signs identifying the pickup signs are the pickup spaces. We have a couple of new stop signs down here. And then the wayfinding that I have on this wayfinding plan. And we do have, sorry, yeah.
Go ahead.
We do have a new light pole to lighten this area with a photometric plan associated with it. It is just 2 heads, and the height of that is consistent with the existing lights out there today.
Those are shielded downlights only?
Correct.
The signs for the pickup, those are not illuminated, are they?
They are not.
Okay.
We have some details here that show, you know, kind of the assembly for the pickup signs. So they're just facing where the cars pull in, and it has a you know, when you come to the store, you're saying you're going to the store, they'll assign you a numbered space, and then it says you can call the number, and then the associate will come out from that new door, and then they'll know which space to go to.
Okay.
And how tall is the new light pole?
39 feet.
Is that consistent with?
Pretty
the
much same as existing, I would think.
Yeah, it's consistent with what's out there today. 39-foot pole.
Are there any changes to the building signage?
Not as a part of this plan. I know the architect is going to move forward with the building permit, and if there's any building signage, I've instructed them to submit a sign permit with the planning board. From my understanding, they're not proposing any new signage for the building at this time.
Do we have a copy of this drawing?
Yes, I've forwarded to William a download link for the entire plan set, but happy to forward to anyone else.
I think I sent that around to everyone. Kayla, did you happen to download it to the server?
I believe so. When did you send it?
let's see.
I think I have the older Walmart signs.
What's the date on these drawings, Liam?
I forwarded these on August 5th. So these are dated June 3rd. I kind of was waiting to submit until we were cut to go ahead from Walmart, but the latest plan set is dated June 3rd.
Yeah, I forwarded that around to everyone on August 5th when it came in. It was
Yeah, I've downloaded that one.
Okay. Very good.
Yeah, that was 2 weeks ago today. Yep. Is there any concern about the, all of the compact parking being in the back? I mean, obviously it makes their equations work.
But we don't, in our parking requirements, we don't specify spaces, we specify area.
Gotcha. That's true. That's
So
true.
if they're reducing the 5 spaces or whatever you want to call it, I mean, the parking area is still
Yeah.
the same.
Right. Okay.
And then they're making up for it by adding a few out back, so.
okay. Pick up and pedestrian access is shown on plan. What was the revision date?
June 3rd.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to waive further site plan approval for the site improvements to the online pickup and pedestrian access as shown on plan revised June 3, 2025.
I would second that.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Done. Aye.
Where I
Maximowski, aye.
Parmar, aye.
Zagrodnik, aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Very good.
5
You're all
ayes.
set. I'll get a waiver out to the building inspector. You probably heard Mr. Dwyer talk about that. And you can go and get your appropriate permits within a few days.
Thank you all for your time. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Good luck.
Have a nice night. Thank you.
I am going to send you a a form. I should have sent it earlier of what waiver of site plan approval is and isn't, and just need you to sign it and return it.
Okay, understood.
I probably won't get that out tonight, but it's just to get in writing that this does not excuse you from anything else you might have to deal with, like conservation, Board of Health, whatever.
Right. Understood. Thank you.
Okey-doke.
Thank you all.
You're welcome. Okay.
And next in, we had Evan Connolly.
Hi, my name's Jackie. I work at Bills and Thomas. I'm Evan's colleague. I'll be doing the project overview.
Okay.
We had submitted some information to the board relatively late last week regarding 2 upcoming applications for dual use agricultural solar arrays. We're working with Solar Collective. We have Justin from Solar Collective on this evening as well. So we're just here to informally discuss these two projects and get feedback from the board before we finalize and submit our application in the upcoming weeks.
Can you remind me of the address and the business?
The first address is 135 Mount Warner Road, and that is for Plainville Farm. And the second address is 143 Mill Valley Road, and that is Parsons Farm.
Thank you.
140 Mill Valley?
Yes, 143, sorry. The projects are very similar, but I think it still makes sense to review them individually because there are some intricacies between the two.
Okay, go ahead. You can share your screen.
All right, I'm actually, does Evan have ability to share his screen? There we go. All right, so we're going to start with Plainville Farm, which is at 135 Mount Warner Road. Like I said, this is an upcoming application for a dual-use agricultural solar array. It is proposed to be located on open fields in active agricultural use. There's no battery energy storage system proposed. The project is being designed under the provisions of the SMART program, so it's intended to be minimally intrusive to the agriculture activities on site. And is intended to coexist with the ag uses. It is located in the agricultural residential zoning district and the aquifer protection overlay district. It's anticipated to encompass approximately 3.5 acres of the 9.5 acre property. As you can see on this exhibit here, it's located in the interior of the property, set well back from the access roadway. There is some residential homes on this side, but there's some trees and a little bit of a vegetative buffer, as well as an extensive vegetative buffer along the southern boundary. There's no grading proposed and no significant impervious area proposed. There is an existing easement that comes off of North Maple Street here. That's going to be used for site access as well as the utility interconnection route. And the point of interconnection is an existing utility pole on North Maple Street. There's a small trailer on the southern part of the property here that will be removed, but otherwise there's no impact to any of the buildings on site. And there's no tree clearing proposed. I'm sorry.
No, go, keep going. I don't mean to interrupt. I don't interrupt. I'll wait.
So the area under the array will return to its pre-construction conditions once the work is complete, and it will continue to be used for growing crops.
Okay. Will they be able to grow crops underneath it while it's in use?
Yes. Yes, that's required under the SMART program. They have to be able to continue using it for agricultural purposes.
We had another applicant come in, and they were also going to be in the aquifer. Will you need something from the planning board saying that battery storage is not permitted because it's in the aquifer?
There's no battery energy storage proposed for this.
I know that, but there was I believe it's part of the newer large-scale solars that they would like to see battery storage incorporated. If
there's an exemption for dual-use agricultural solar arrays that they don't require a battery storage system.
That's fine, because we had to write a little letter for somebody else that wanted to do dual use even then. Okay, that's fine. Great.
All right. So that's the first project. I don't know if anyone has any other questions or any feedback on this, or if you want me to jump over to the other project.
That's straightforward, and I personally don't think we're gonna have any. I do not see any issues arising.
I have one question. Is that a wetland or a stream flagged towards the southern end?
Yes, there is a BVW a bordering vegetated wetland in the southern part of the property. There won't be any impacts to the BVW itself. We will be in the 100-foot buffer zone, and we're preparing an application to the Conservation Commission for that.
Okay, great. Yeah, I'm the conservation agent, so you'll be sending it to me. But this
Okay.
is a good background. Yeah.
Is there any on the west side of the property, where the houses are located, you plan any screening at all?
Justin, I don't know if there has been any discussion with the landowner about additional plantings or other screening.
There has not been.
Well, we'll hear about it when we have the open meeting, so if they do object.
Okay. That's something we'll definitely keep in mind.
Great.
All right, if there's nothing else, we will jump over to the Parsons farm. So this is very similar, dual use agricultural solar array, no battery energy storage proposed. It's going to be, again, located in an open field that's currently in ag use. No tree removal proposed for the array itself. To get to the interconnection pole, there might be some tree trimming or removal, but the applicant Solar Collective is still trying to kind of stamp out where exactly this interconnection route is going to go. So that is still TBD. This project is located only in the agricultural residential zoning district. None of the work is proposed in the aquifer overlay. This is a slightly smaller array. It's going to encompass approximately 1.8 acres of the 95-acre property. Again, it's located in the interior of the property, away from abutters and the roadway. And there is some additional wooded areas along the western side of the property. It's just kind of cut off in this example. A sedimentation and control barrier will be placed around each of the limits of work here prior to the start of construction. And again, the area under the array will return to pre-construction conditions, and the area will be used for sheep grazing once it's finished. This originally was one large chunk of, or like just one continuous array, but because there's these fingers of BBW that stick out, we reconfigured it a little bit to avoid impacts to the wetland itself. So that's why it's kind of chunked out like that. And the existing driveway off Mill Valley Road will be used for site access.
I have
So
a
I'm
small,
assuming that's the Fort River near the bottom of the drawing.
Correct.
Okay, so you'll need some conservation issues there.
Correct. We're preparing a notice of intent for this project as well.
Are any of the arrays located within 35 feet of the BBW? Because we have a no 35-foot no disturb zone.
No, I don't believe so.
Okay, great. Are you working with Ward Smith on these?
We haven't reached out to the Conservation
Okay.
Commission yet. Planning Board was our first stop. We wanted to incorporate any feedback that we got from this meeting into our plan set before we reached out to the commission.
So the point of interconnection, is there a shut off there too? Emergency shut off?
I'll defer to Justin on that one.
Does it require one?
Yes. Only reason I'm unfortunately more than familiar with a lot of solar stuff, and they've got to have all kinds of shutoffs, monitoring, signage, all kind of stuff like that for interconnections. Properly labeled, et cetera, even for a homeowner.
So at the moment, we have a interconnection agreement and impact study that has been done and completed. And then generally what we do is we kick off civil first so that we know where we thought we were putting it, we still can put it. And then obviously planning and zoning, we put all that together before we go back in for a permanent set to the building department. And then any additional changes or codes that need to be followed, we obviously will do. So it's a long process, but whatever is required, we'll put in.
I just have a, comment, just technical on the drawing. It would be good if you put in the title block, the street address. I see Parsons Farm, but it would, in Hadley, Massachusetts, but it would be good to have the street
Okay.
address on there.
This is just an overview exhibit. Our final plan set will have the address on the title block.
Okay.
This is not APR land, is it?
I believe they don't have any land in APR at this point.
Okay.
Do you have a design on the system yet? Are these up on poles, and are these trackers, or?
So this will be a tracker system. The Massachusetts DOER for this is very specific for PDA. They are piles that sit approximately 10 foot above grade to the underside of the panel. And at a minimum, when they're in tilt, it'll be 7 foot. And again, this is so that we have our dual use and we do not affect the farm crop or grazing. So this will be relatively it will be high. And so that everything can continue on as is. The idea is as little disruption as possible to the land, so that it remains as it was.
Is there a wooded line anywhere that would buffer this to neighbors, or?
There is a bit of a forested area in the western portion of the property. And there's a tree line that goes along the eastern portion here as well. You can kind of see it.
And the farm property, does that go to the other side of the river there? Or is that?
No, the
Butter.
property ends at the river.
Okay.
On that stretch of Mill Valley Road, all of the abutting properties are family owned.
Okay. And usually, I think there's a tree line that basically follows the river. That also appeases any concerns about optics.
It's kind of unusual, the fact that the Governor Dukakis signed the APR bill in the Parsons farmhouse, which was rather big deal at the time. And they had no land in APR. That's their business, but unusual.
Maybe they planned to until they saw him in the tank, and then they changed their mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe that it also doesn't it slope down from Mill Valley Road to the Fort River at that point?
It must.
So yeah, to your concern, Mark, those panels are probably below the plane of the road.
Okay. No, I'm just trying to imagine what any butters might have for concern, but it sounds like you're saying the butters are all within the family.
The abutters are all Parsons,
Yeah.
pretty much. Across the road, you've got, well, yeah.
He has a parcel across the road as well.
Yeah.
Driving in, you do have right where it says Mill Valley at the top, you also have a tree line there at the top of the page where you see the Mill Valley Road in bold.
Right.
that tree line continues over towards the entrance to the property. And as you go by towards the west, if you're coming from the west, you have all the barns that are blocking that view as well, and it does slope down pretty well once you get into the property. But again, we'll do what we need to do if it's required.
Yeah.
We'll make
This
we'll
is,
make the arrangements.
This is, if I'm correct, off the top of the page would be that large solar array that's behind the mall, right?
No, that would be
Isn't
way over.
Isn't the silos off the top left of this? Or am I confused on do we have
You are confused, Mark, because I think what you're alluding to is it's on the other side of Mill Valley Road. Goulet's has a solar, a
Yeah,
large solar.
it's quite a ways down from this one.
Yeah, we're very east of this. I mean, we're east of that.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, that's what
Yeah.
I'm talking about, the one before you get to the Amherst line. Isn't this?
This here in our Mass Mapper, the
Do you have
project, this
another
is,
plan that shows this location with, zooming out a bit? That would really help to, if I
we-
didn't grow up in Hadley and know the Parsons,
If you want to Google it real quick and then zoom out.
yeah, we have, this is Evan Conley from Beals and Thomas.
Yep.
So our project would be right about here. Just for some additional context, Mill Valley Road here. There's an array up here, an array up here. I'm not sure if those are the two that you were talking about. And then I believe
I
Town
think you're sharing
Line.
the wrong window.
No?
Yeah.
You're sharing
Yeah.
the wrong window.
Okay,
We still see the site plan.
Yeah.
how about now?
There we go.
Ah,
Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's try this again. Yeah, so our project is right about here. This is
so
a
that's what I
parcel.
thought, right?
Yeah, Mill
Up-
Valley Road, a
up-
couple.
Yeah, right where you just, what's that, say 146 is that large array that's behind the,
That Allard's farm.
yeah. And the silos is over by the Goulet. Yeah, okay. This is where I thought you were. I'm sorry I didn't describe it properly. I think the Amherst Hadley line is on the right side of the page there.
Just
Yeah,
look-
the property abuts the
Yeah.
Amherst line.
Yeah, yeah, okay. No. And I said the array behind the mall, but I meant the array behind Fish and Wildlife, so that was my bad. Okay, thank you.
So the installation, you said something about piles. What is going to be the attachment device from
To the
the
ground.
soil?
Sorry, say that one more time, please.
How are you going to what's the attachment interface or device to the soil here?
It's a driven pile. It's going to have to be capacity. We're not to use concrete. We can't disturb the soil. We can't have any of that happen. So, it's going to be a driven pile, most likely a C channel. And if we do test pits and borings or something else that show us otherwise that we can't do that, then we'll have to make those adjustments. We don't know what that is right now. We
Yeah,
haven't scheduled our.
Right. We
We
do
haven't
not
scheduled
allow
our. Sorry.
we don't allow concrete. So
Right. So exactly.
Yeah,
We're on
okay.
the same page as you.
Okay.
And then it's a tracker system on top.
So helical piles is an option.
Are they piles? They look like a big screw.
No, these are going to be right now. We're looking at. So there's a couple theories, a couple schools of thought. You have your tracker systems that also do piles, and then you have your steel manufacturers who can just build you something to your design, to your loads and such. So right now, the tracker systems that we are looking at all have their own piles. These are C channels. I don't know further than that until we get a little farther down the road if helical is an option. But anything that we can do to avoid using concrete, we'll certainly wind up doing.
That's fine. Okay. Okay. Looks good.
Just as a note, obviously, we will have concrete for our pad. Right, there has to be an electrical pad, electrical equipment pad that will be, and in most cases, that's a 4-inch or 6-inch pad sitting on top of the soil. We're not really excavating for that. That's more of a on top.
We understand that the pads, the electrical equipment needs a concrete pad to set on.
Just out of interest, is that industry standard to go north-south instead of east-west with your array lines, or?
As long as they face south, you know, we make them fit. We don't dictate to the landowner or the whoever it may be. If it's our client, you know, I don't want to use that word, it's informal, but we don't say this is where you're going to put it. They tell us, and if we can make it work for them, then we're going to do that.
Okay.
This is their livelihood and theirs for the, you know, foreseeable future. So we will put it where we can and how we can, depending on where they want it.
Okay.
I have no more questions at this point.
Very good. Any other questions from anybody? Comments? If not, okay.
No, I see no problem.
Yeah.
No conceptual problems.
Well, thank you. We appreciate your time. This was very helpful. And Kayla, we will be reaching out to the Conservation Commission in the upcoming weeks as well.
That's good.
Okay.
All right. Thank you all.
Thank
Very
you
good.
all.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Okay.
And the last one on the list is Robert Demersky.
Mr. Demersky, you have anything for the planning board? You're just here for information. You're muted.
I know he's contacted both Kayla and me about an ADU on another property, so he may just want to see the how the administrative review process goes.
Okay.
And he's trying
We
to.
also had a. Oh, go
Here I
ahead.
am. Here I am.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Anyway, you know, I'm very unrehearsed about coming in and really saying anything, but I can, if anybody's interested, I can tell you how far down the road I am with various things, as far as septic and people looking at foundation work and that type of thing. But maybe I'm getting ahead of myself.
Let's start off with the property address.
Okay. My mother resides in the main house at 49 Huntington Road in Hadley. And the main house sits on 31,250 square feet. And to the rear of that, she owns 5 acres. That kind of L shapes behind 4 other homes on Huntington Road. So our idea, and I would actually be living there full time. She's 92 and I'm planning on coming out and making it kind of a retirement situation for myself. I am 65. So what the plan is to push back into the woods just behind the house with a 4-car garage, and on top of that build 900 square feet over 3 of the 4 bays of the garage of living space, which would be a 2-bed, 2-bath. Would have to have its own septic system. I've spoken with Alan Weiss about it, as well as Ben at the town of Hadley, and everyone has confirmed that it can't be part of the existing septic, which is for a 4-bedroom house. Even though it was installed in 2012, it just doesn't have the capacity. So we would just do our own to the rear of the property, which we're fine with. It would need obviously a perk test. Well, let's see what else would, we have plenty of room back there with setbacks and everything, so that's not really an issue as far as I can see.
So maybe I can help you out a little bit. Do you have a particular question? You don't have an application, you don't have a proposal in front of us to review, so we have nothing to look at.
No, I know. I just wanted to.
Did you have specific questions that we could help you with?
Well, I just wanted to see how the town, get the temperature of the town as to how you're treating these things. I mean, they seem to be allowed by right at this point, as long as you meet the specifications of what you would normally need to build. I am in the process of getting a layout done, and I would present that next. What else would you, so I would need to fill out an application, obviously, present a septic plan, present a foundation plan as far as setbacks and all that's concerned. What would be my other next steps, I guess is my question.
Well, I'll tell you, the quickest next step might be just to stay on the Zoom, because our next up is continuation of administrative review of an ADU in a detached garage.
Okay.
The process we have is the planning board conducts an administrative review. It's not a special permit, but we just evaluate your proposal for compliance with the bylaw and other zoning, and whether you have adequate septic and the like.
Yep.
So if it seems to have everything, we pass it along with our nod to the building inspector, and you're off and running. And then it's between you, the building inspector, the Board of Health, the electrical inspector, everything as if you were building a new anything.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. That was my understanding.
Robert,
Yes.
it also sounded when you had contacted me that you had a question about the maximum allowable size of the ADU.
Well, I see now that the assessor's office has the house at a larger square footage than I had originally had thought. So it looks as if 900 would be allowable given the size of the main house. And that was my question, because I thought I thought the assessor's card was much smaller than it actually is as far as square footage of the house. So 900 is less than half of the main structure, so I guess it's allowed.
Well, state regulations tell us no smaller than 320 square feet, no larger than 900 square feet. So you're within the parameters that the Commonwealth of Massachusetts has dictated to us.
Yes. Yeah, I just read that it can't be any larger than half the size of the main dwelling also. That's kind of the other governing factor. But we're still at 900, we're still less than half of the main structure. So I guess we're good to go on that.
Okay.
Well,
Okay.
you're welcome to stay and see the next presentation.
Yeah, no, I would. I'm going to stay on the call, and I appreciate that.
Okay.
Okay,
Yes.
thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Mr. Iser.
Yes, sir. You just put a lot of pressure on me, Bill.
Be good.
Well, it's all done. We were just waiting on one thing.
So I'm going to suggest that not starting completely from scratch, but since Mark missed the last meeting, maybe we just go back, put your two things up, and just give us the 25-cent tour.
Sure.
Proposal. to get back to you. And then you have another one you want to talk to us about too.
Yes. That won't take long.
All right. Where I had you up, and then I had to shift to someone else. Okay. Pass on that.
You're not giving Mr. Iser permission to share himself.
Mr. Iser is on his iPad and is unable to share, so he needs me to bring it up.
And he's done it so well in the past that I figured he could continue to do so. He has spoiled me in that respect, so. There we go.
Bay Road.
All right. So this is 171 Bay Road. It's owned by Peter Benben and Jackie Zusko. They are applying for an ADU on the second floor of the garage that is shown on this plan. The garage is situated such that it meets all zoning requirements. The ADU that's proposed, there are plans for that and another screenshot that Bill will have, but it is less than 900 square feet. The house is larger than 1,800 square feet, and the law says that your ADU can be no bigger than half the size of your existing house or 900 square feet, whichever is smaller. So 900 square feet in this situation would be fine, but we are less than that. They're associated with this on the other pages that I referred to. There is some plans from Tim Nyhart showing how the ADU is going to be built. There was, I believe, a letter from the electrical inspector saying that what they have is adequate for what they're proposing. And when I left last time, there was nothing from the health inspector. I reached out to him and he sent me a letter, which I sent, I believe, today to Bill and Jim, stating that he has reviewed this. The septic system, I believe, was designed for 6 bedrooms. There are 5 bedrooms in the main house. There will be 1 more bedroom in the ADU, and there will be a separate septic tank that will then feed into the existing leach field.
Just point of fact, so am I right in thinking that their property became existing non-conforming in terms of frontage when they sold the front house?
So
They
they
were
had,
granted-
this was back when flag lots were allowed.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So this is just a picture of the garage and how some construction details.
This would be the second floor, the ADU itself.
Correct, the way it's going to be laid out.
With the outside deck being the second means of egress.
Yeah, and that the actual ADU, the interior is 628 square feet.
And then more construction detail.
Right. And I believe the definition of the ADU is the livable space, and I don't believe a deck qualifies as livable space.
Okay.
So something for you guys to think about. I'm doing one of these in South Hadley, and they have a definition of what they consider existing living space. So I believe they're going to allow for basement, first floor, second floor, whatever's there in the existing house And I don't know why they included the basement, especially if it's not built out and livable, but that's what their definition is all about. So you may want to think about that just in case somebody comes and gives you questions what you're qualifying as living space in the existing building.
I believe building code does some definition of that. And that if you have living space in a cellar, you need to have a walkout basement.
Okay.
If you don't have a walkout basement, you cannot put living space in the cellar. A bulkhead is not considered a walkout area.
Okay.
That's why there are houses. I know there was a house that was built not too long ago. In fact, it was right on Lawrence Plain Road, and they raised the house up significantly so they could have a walkout basement, and have living space in the cellar.
Okay.
And
So
Kayla and I,
I'll check on that with the building inspector.
yeah, Kayla and I did look up, there are some definitions in the implementing regulations as well about what counts as living space in the underlying house to allow for computing the available size of an ADU.
Okay. Well, like I said, just in case, I don't have any issue with it. As far as I'm concerned, the basement doesn't count, but somebody may come and push the issue with you.
I still couldn't push it over 900 square feet, so.
Yeah, it's just about the right. But if they had let's say they had a 1,300 square foot ranch, so that they've got 2,600 square feet if you count the basement. So that's all. Just looking out for something like that.
So going forward, I know that the other plan, this will only be the second administrative review we've completed. And the other plan, which is a public record, so I'll send it to you, did have utility layout as well.
Uh-huh.
That was on sewer, so they were showing how they were going to connect the detached ADU to the sewer line. So it did warrant some more detail, but
Gotcha.
It might be helpful to have some more detail, like where the septic system is and how the connection is going to be made to it. But presumably you'll have to accomplish that to the satisfaction of the Board of Health anyway, so.
That's correct. Yeah, I mean, there's the select board just created policy about that, how to connect to the sewer and water lines. So that's set in stone. Shouldn't be. I mean, and the Alan Weiss has looked at this, the septic designer, and Dan Lippum, the health director, has looked at it as well. So everybody knows what they're up against on this one. But I appreciate your input, and next time I'll make sure that I
Is
can.
the ADU off of a sub panel from within the house?
I think so, Mark.
So I'm wondering if there's a disconnect in the detached building, or you have to go to the main house if the fire department wanted to shut down the electrical.
That's a good question, and that's something I'm sure that the fire chief will look at when, before a CO gets issued.
Okay.
Any other comments or questions? I see. We have none. Pretty straightforward. Meets the rezoning requirements.
Exterior lighting or anything?
Whatever's there now, I don't think that's part of the process, Mark, quite frankly.
Oh, I was just assuming with that deck, you might be adding some lighting that could affect.
I don't think you guys have purview over what people do with their lighting in the residences that I'm aware of.
No.
And it
Maybe we
also
can change that.
is, let me get back to here. it's also this is a very large lot. So I'm not quite sure where the deck is going to pop off the garage.
I think on the back side, and if I'm not mistaken, that's Town of Hadley property. That's a bunch of woods back there.
Okay. And it is 400 feet from the nearest residence, over 400 feet from the nearest residence.
To assuage any concerns I might have about light bleed, even outside of my lane, as Mr. Iser has pointed out.
Could you speak up, Mark? You're speaking very quietly.
Oh, I said, well, if it's over 400 feet, then it's that assuages that, calms my concerns about butters, which, according to Mr. Iser, is outside my lane anyway. So,
See, that line's 394 feet, and because of the way it skews, even if it came down at 394 feet, then that house is another 30 or 40 feet beyond that. So well over 400 feet. I know there's a pool out there somewhere too, but I'm not quite sure where that is.
That's behind their house, Bill. It's kind of right there.
Okay. So septic presumably is in this area somewhere.
I am not sure where it is, but wherever it is, they're going to have to deal with it.
Yep. I think, again, going forward, I think this is adequate for our purposes, but going forward, something, if it is on septic, being able to locate the septic in reference to the primary and the ADU would be helpful.
Understood. Yeah, I mean, we're all having growing pains with this one, so I get it.
So it's a little unclear with administrative review. I guess I'll make a motion to find that the proposal satisfies the bylaw.
Do we have a second? I'll second it. We have a motion and a second. Any other discussions? Hearing none. All in favor of the motion? Roll call vote.
done. I'm going to abstain since I missed the original Fuller.
Okay.
Dwyer, aye.
Maximowski, aye.
Farmar, aye.
Zagradnik, aye.
Motion passes 4-0 with one abstention. Okay.
Okay, and then somebody should talk with the building inspector because my client called me, what's today, Tuesday? Yesterday, and said she got a building permit in the mail. So I don't know what the process is supposed to be, but it sounds like it got a little ahead of itself.
The cart might have gotten in front of the horse.
I believe so. But like I said, I don't understand the process quite well yet, so I'm going to assume that was out of order, but whatever. Kind of a moot point now.
Yep. There's no appeal period on this, so
yeah,
we'll approve it retroactively, maybe. No.
Bill, what if somebody disagrees with our approval?
They have the ability to appeal the issuance of a building permit to the ZBA.
Okay, it's like the old, it's nothing new there. All
No,
right.
no change. So if we were to say go ahead and someone were to say that is too close to my property line,
Yeah.
and a building permit should not have been issued, their route is to the ZBA, and if the ZBA doesn't satisfy them, then they can appeal that to the courts.
Thank you.
you're gonna put something out, Bill? You want me to do something here?
Yeah, I should work up a template of some sort here. So
Okay.
I'll work with Kayla on creating a model.
Okay.
Bill, and I had created that checklist with the draft updated
Yeah.
regulations for ADU. Maybe we could
Yes.
use something like that.
And I just sent that around to everybody, and thank you for that. Since we already started this 2 weeks ago, I don't think it would have added anything, but it does. There is a handy checklist that Kayla worked up on compliance with the bylaw. We should probably be, in fact, I'll send that to you as well, Randy.
Thank you. If you would send me that and that other site plan you were talking about, I'd appreciate
Yeah.
it, Bill.
But I think that, yeah, before we use it, we really should talk about it so everybody has it and you can take a look at it. And if you have any questions, talk to Kayla and me.
Sounds good.
Thank you, Mr. Iser.
You are most welcome. I have one more item for this evening, and that is I need to set a public hearing date for the very small subdivision I talked to you guys about a couple of months ago on Bay Road for the Tom Quinlan Senior. I don't want to go over it tonight because frankly, I don't have time. But I basically went over it with you before. So there'll be some minor changes, but nothing mind shattering.
What's the address there?
I think it's 145 Bay Road.
And what was this address? The Zuzgo? That was
171.
171.
So I did send around what Randy did file with us, and
There are three houses or four houses?
Just three, Joe. We decided that three was going to be it because we really do need to provide some kind of conservation or a restricted area that won't be built. I think that's fair and reasonable.
Is that aquifer protection?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay.
I believe it's 145 Bay Road.
yes, I did forward that around last week on the 13th.
So I'll give you a quick overview. The lot has potential for four. The parcel has potential for 4 lots. We're going to utilize 3 of them for building. One is going to be reserved for not buildable conservation, whatever you want to call it. A little piece is going to go to one of the abutters, who is Tom Quinlan Jr., so he can build a garage. That's this parcel, whatever. If you can bring it down just a little lower, Bill. I think I called it parcel A. Yeah, parcel A. That's going to Quinlan Jr. Lot 1, 2, and 3 are going to be buildable lots. Parcel B is going to be non-buildable conservation, whatever you want to call it. I've got a 30-foot wide private way proposed, 16-foot wide traveled way. There's some drainage stuff going on the west side, which would be, as you're looking at it, the left side of the road. And all the lots meet zoning. The 150-foot square fits in the 200 feet of frontage, 40,000 square foot minimum. I've got a turnaround on the road for safety vehicles, fire trucks typically. The fire chief will review this and make sure he's happy with that. Got a couple of construction details, what the road's going to be built like, how it's going to be pitched, and then this drainage stuff along the side of the road.
The way the property is laid out, you're really only, in actuality, we are really only adding one lot. Because two could
Correct.
be frontage lots on Bay Road.
Right. And then one thing I wanted to ask you guys about this, do you need me to get house numbers for you before we finalize this?
I think we want house numbers when we approve it, Randy.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I think you have to decide if you want to have your house numbers, and maybe talk to public safety about whether you want the house numbers to be Bay Road numbers or Gwen Way numbers.
Right. All right. I'll talk to the fire chief about that and see what he thinks makes the most sense. And when I get the answers, then I will put that on the lots. There will be a note that will say house number such and such Bay Road or house number such and such Gwen Way.
Okay.
And the road is proposed to be gravel at this point.
So September 16th?
Sorry, can't make that one.
Okay.
Can't make that one. Again, we try to keep the first Tuesday for Pioneer Valley Planning Commission.
That's fine, Bill, because I'm not available October 7th either. So the 21st is the soonest I can do it.
Okay.
You drive a hard bargain, but I'll take it.
10/21.
It's too bad can't make it work to have Gwen Way come out directly towards Moody Bridge instead of staggered. But
do we have a butters list for these, Randy?
Pardon me?
Did you give a butters list yet?
Not yet. I need to do that. And I also need, Bill, you'd send me I can't find the form that you sent me before, the application form. I've looked through all my emails. I can't find it. So if you would send that to me again, please. And I will get that to you in the next couple of days, Jim.
Okay.
We seem to have quite a bit of time, so. But I'll get it to you sooner than later before I forget. Okay. So to Mark's point, is that something that would make you guys happier if the road turned and the entrance was right across from Moody Bridge, if I can make that work?
Well, I think you have to work out with your client. You know, if it's just a driveway serving one lot.
True.
I'm not as concerned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If all the lots want to be on Gwen Way, so it's a triple driveway effectively.
Yeah.
Then it might be nice to have it a little more angled.
Gotcha.
Which would mean maybe you'd lose one of the lots on Bay Road and would have to be on Gwen Way.
Yeah. All right. I'll talk to them and I'll look at it. If they, whatever they decide based on what I just heard, if I need to, I'll revise the plan and send it to you guys. Otherwise, if they're going to have Bay Road driveways, then we'll just let it be.
Yeah, I completely agree, Mark. If this were a 6-lot subdivision with all the houses on the subdivision road, we would definitely want it. In fact, I think our regulations call for it to be
so many feet apart or direct.
It's either so many feet apart or aligned.
Yeah.
Now, Randy.
Yes, sir.
If the houses have access on Bay Road, have frontage on Bay Road, but access on Gwen Way, you'll need a special permit for the access across those and frontage, though.
Yes, sir. Okay. Yeah, I'll talk to Quinlan's and see how they want to do it, and then I will fill out the application form accordingly.
Yeah, I mean, it's a matter of semantics. I mean, it's not a big deal. It's just a matter of which way they want to do it.
Right. No, I get it, and we need to follow the rules. Understood.
You're right, Jim. Shattuck Road, we had a couple of them there.
And there was one on Huntington where they did we did a special permit for the house had frontage on Huntington, but they wanted to have it access Megan's Way. We did a special permit to have it access across other than frontage for Megan's Way. And then the eventual owner of the house went to the DPW and asked for a driveway permit to enter onto Huntington as well.
That's right.
So it's the house on the
east side of Megan's Way, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
So we want to try to avoid little glitches like that going forward. So it's important just to know what you want to do.
Yeah. Okay. I'll talk to them. We'll get it squared away. They need to understand that it's one way or the other. All right. We good?
Okay.
Yep.
All right. See you on the 21st, if not before.
Hope to see you tomorrow, sir.
Yes, you will. All right. Have a good night, folks.
Yep.
Good night.
Good night.
Right.
Okay, a couple of other items. Our town council has given us a revised wording for the few items on our accessory dwelling unit bylaw. It was turned down by the Attorney General. And really it's only one, two, well, a couple of little sections, two little minor word changes. I'm making it more correct, if you would. And it is section 26.2.4 and 26.2.9. Anybody have a chance to look at those? Mr. Dwyer sent them around.
Sorry, I'm still recovering from vacation. I need a vacation from vacation.
Well, we don't have to decide.
Yeah.
But I looked at it briefly and it appeared to be, address the concerns that the Attorney General raised.
Mm.
And I also sent around that the AG has approved all of the zoning changes from annual town meeting. So
just the time to discuss the suggestion that our town council has talked about with the battery storage units.
We could.
Well, it appears that they're looking, or the state legislature has given the people who want to install the battery storage units, BESS as they are referred to now, a get out of jail free card, i.e. the Dover Amendment. After reading through all the 4 or 5 paragraphs, the final line was except when health, safety are of concern. So we are still under, I feel, the health and safety concern.
Right, and the Attorney General did approve our bylaw that prohibited battery storage in the Aquifer Protection Overlay District.
Okay.
So I think that may not apply to us directly, but yeah, take another look at it. We can talk. I can put it on the agenda for the next meeting too.
Yeah, that's.
I did not get a reply from town council. On on the Howard Johnson's or the extended stay hotel.
Yes.
I did talk to the town clerk about the dog kennel licensing changes. She kept on saying they were recent changes, but she didn't know what they were. She referred me to Mitch Cook as the animal enforcement officer, animal control officer. I haven't reached out to him yet. Maybe I'll talk to Kayla about doing that. Yeah, we have the town council's ADU. Changes in parking requirements. We'll get something put together there. Jim's going to work on that. And or no, parking requirements Kyle is working on. And then Jim, you're working on the maximum business structure size.
Yeah.
Mr. Dunn, did you have some nuances of 40R that you want to
Yeah.
discuss?
Yeah, I'm not sure what the agenda allows us to discuss, but I think it allows me to give you an update, right?
Yes.
Right.
So we're going to meet tomorrow. One of the questions that Pioneer Valley Planning Commission raised is whether the planning board is on board with a direction that we gave at our last meeting, that in the 40R overlay, any new development, any new structure would be required to have a residential component. So in other words, mixed use instead of just commercial. So that's something that maybe we should put on the agenda to discuss at a future meeting.
Yeah, I think that would require some more than a couple of minutes of discussion.
Yeah. So I think
I'm
that's
saying that Kyle or somebody will be at our next meeting. That
Mhm.
might be a good time to discuss it when they're present.
Yeah. We could talk about the pros and the cons. And I think in that he talked about the fact that it's an overlay, so you could always rely on the underlying zoning district. And then I think he even mentioned if you wanted to do something, you could make the 40R the underlying. Yeah, but that's all things we can talk about when
That sounds like that is a
problem
more
trying to happen.
That's more esoteric than your committee might want to take on.
Yeah.
At a first at a first step.
I don't think we had any intent on that, but I think he just put that out there for discussion.
I think that's going to be. I think that's pretty deep for your committee to take on.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
What's the requirement that the commercial use, it has to be mixed use?
If they were going to use the 40R,
Yeah.
then you would have to have residential as part of your project. If they're not going to use the 40R, they can use the underlying district.
But isn't the question whether if we're going to require 40R to include business uses or
that's
We've discussed it before, and I forgot if that's allowed or not. So probably re-ask that question tomorrow. That if it's either, for us, the question is, can we limit 40R to being mixed use only? Is that basically what we're asking?
No, I mean,
Bill? No, I think
that we we need more definition, I think. We're not ready to talk about this here.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where it's easy to say it. And the old comment, the devil's in the details. How do you
Hmm.
better define it? And it could turn out to be a disaster.
Yeah.
If not done properly. So, okay. What else, Mark? Have you got anything?
I think that's all I had.
Okay.
Obviously, at the next meeting, we will have PVPC and we will have had our next meeting. So we'll have an update and a discussion.
Okay.
Along those lines, I don't know if it's related, but there's also unrelated to that smart growth committee, there's a conversation going on in town about what options do we have? Is there anything through the town to help out some elder residents who are being priced out over at Vesta because they're in the affordable housing, but when the owner sold, what we're discovering is that the previous owner of Winfield used a different formula. They asked each resident for their financials and then set the rent at 30% of their income. That's the maximum that they could do. The new owners, a corporation out of Connecticut, has apparently, it seems, taken the approach that leaves money on the table if they set the rents by the area mean income. Whether even if that's above the resident's income, they expect the resident to pay what the HUD area mean income dictates. And so there's at least one person that's gotten an eviction notice. And so there's that's something I'm not bringing formally. I'm just letting you know that there are discussions going on. We're investigating CPA. Seeing, I've reached out to Stuart Saganor, see if there's anything that we can do to cover that gap between 30% of someone's income and the AMI. But when I have more information, I'll bring that back or not.
Okay.
I think we definitely need more information on that because if it's a new formula that HUD has put out, it may also apply to some of the other subsidized housing units in Hadley, and it may be a bigger problem.
Yeah, there may be this may be a tsunami wave coming. Laura Baker explained that there is a new MSA that the HUD has broken out so that we were grouped in with Springfield, and they've redefined. I don't know if it's Hampshire and Hamden, or they've taken Hampshire and Franklin and separated, but she said under the new metropolitan MSA, whatever that is.
Metropolitan Statistical Area.
Yes, they've taken Springfield out of ours, which raises all the numbers. So that's going to be a hardship on people who were benefiting from Springfield being in our statistical area.
They say why?
I didn't get that deep with her. I just reached out to her to see if she had any advice, and she said, "Well, this is what's happened." And she alluded to the fact that it's not all bad, that there's some benefit, but I haven't had a chance to connect with her. I was away. It on first blush, it looks like it's the only thing it's good for is the owner, but I think she was alluding to something else, so I haven't gotten into the intricacies of that.
Okay.
It's never
Anybody have anything else?
I
Oh,
have,
I have an invoice. Just a minute. It is. Where did I put it? Hold it.
Oh, just to wrap up on that last point. So I was saying we were looking at CPA funding and then also, we're just questioning everything. Is there something that the Affordable Housing Trust, is there any way that that could somehow address that gap again? So, but we're not expecting, but it's just a question on the table that we're trying to do some investigation before we come back
you
to.
absolutely need more information on that
Right,
because I
right.
think the smaller the target pool is,
Yeah,
the harder it is to justify using broader funds.
yeah.
So we need a lot more information. As Jim loves to say, the devil's in the details.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, we're just hearing their concerns and trying to cast a net and see if there's any way to help these people from.
Yeah, we've got to be careful on something like that because you're, like Bill says, you're targeting a very small pool. And it's not like we have a ton of money. We're significantly limited on what we can do with it. So, but we need details here.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. We have an invoice to pay for the Daily Hampshire Gazette, $432.08 for the legal notice for the 130, I think it's 136 Middle Street, for the home occupation is going to be on the agenda for the public hearing on September 2nd. I'll make a
I'll
motion.
make a motion to pay Gazette 432.08.
Second.
Motion second. Any discussions? Hearing none. All in favor? Roll call.
Done. Aye.
Dwyer, aye.
Maximowski, aye.
Farmer, aye.
Rodnick, aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Very good. Thank you. I will get that out to you, Kayla. Okay. Anything else?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion a second. All in favor? Roll call.
Done. Aye.
Dwyer, aye.
Maximowski, aye.
Farmer, aye.
Rodnick, aye.
Motion is unanimous. Meeting is history. Thank you, Kayla. Thank you.